This morning, our close personal friend, Mr. Comer, said that he was not going to look into the letter or the doodle, the president's doodle. He's a decent doodler, by the way. So he wasn't going to look into whether the signature was a forgery, and I'm concerned about that. Because this is the president of the United States. If there are forgeries or forgers out there, I think we should investigate it. And in fact, this document is 22 years old. So you're telling me someone 22 years ago went back to the future and forged his signature when he was a Democrat. And somehow this person was Nostradamus, knew he would become a Republican, become president 22 years later. So listen, I submit to you that we can solve this problem for the American people. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take our dear personal friend, Mr. Comer's word for it. Let's bring in a signature expert. The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. Okay? The president says it's not his. The Republican colleagues say it's not his. The administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and it was a blistering scene at the House Judiciary Committee just a few days ago. FBI Director and, failed podcaster turned MAGA conspiracy mascot, Kash Patel was on the hot seat, and you could practically see the sweat rolling down his forehead.
Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation.
Democrats weren't just questioning him, they were peeling him apart layer by layer. Every time he tried to dodge, they cut him off. Every time he tried to stall, they dragged him back into the light. Patel came in thinking he could spar, maybe play lawyer with a few clever half-truths. Instead, he left looking like the defendant at his own trial.
You guys pick the witnesses, bring in your signature experts, swear them under oath, and let's have the signature examined. Is it his or it is not his? We don't have to play games or the president says it's not his, we say it's him. No, let's bring in a signature expert, a referee, because we can't agree on anything, even when it's right in our face, of whether that is indeed the president's signature, or if it's a forgery, we should immediately open up an investigation into this forgery.
The joke wrote itself. The forgery talk was smoke and mirrors. The doodle, that was the banana peel. And the entire GOP defense just slipped flat on its ass. Expert witness, though? Please. Their expert witness would probably turn out to be Rudy Giuliani dressed up as Simon Bar Sinister from the Underdog cartoons. And Moskowitz wasn't done. He started twisting the knife, and I mean good. He didn't just ask. He dared them to defend the nonsense. He's saying, do you really expect us to believe this? That some time-traveling liberal hopped in Doc Brown's DeLorean, tore across a McDonald's parking lot, and went full cosplay to sneak a forged Trump birthday card into Epstein's book back in 2003 when Trump was still calling himself a Democrat.
I know that the President of the United States brought a $10 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal for reporting about the existence of this. He denied that it existed in any way. What is the state of that litigation? I think, wouldn't we want that resolved before we move to a handwriting expert?
Oh, sure. I mean, I assume there will be, obviously, depositions that get taken. I assume there'll be production of documents. I assume as that case goes forward, they too will bring in their own expert to say it is not him. I just think, because we're in the middle of this investigation in oversight, even though, of course, this committee has jurisdiction over the DOJ and the FBI, but we all know that our chairman obviously only wants to handle, the real stuff. We give everything else to Comer. And so, I just think that rather than this drag out for weeks or months, is it his? Is it not his? Does he like to draw? Doesn't he like to draw? Right? Like, let's just get an expert in here to tell us listen, I'll tell you right now, if you bring in an expert, you pick the expert, you swear him up. If that expert tells us it's not his signature, I will accept the results. I will absolutely accept the results that it's not his signature and it is absolutely a forgery. But I'm willing to bet that we won't do that. I'm willing to bet we won't do that. But prove me wrong.
What are you really saying? That some Nostradamus-style prophet scribbled in a quatrain 400 years ago about the orange one who will doodle in the book of the damned? That someone knew Trump would flip parties, become president 2 years later, and already had the doodle ready to go? Good God. That's how ridiculous their defense sounded. A prophecy written in crayon. But then came the killer move. Moskowitz gave them the one obvious, no-nonsense way to settle it. Bring in neutral handwriting experts. Swear them under oath. Put the page under the microscope. Is it his signature or isn't it? No theatrics, no spin. Just forensic. It's a doodle or is it not? That was a straight-up dare, and it landed like a hammer. Everyone in the room knew what had just happened. The second you call in independent experts, the fog clears. No more fake, not fake theater. No more hand-waving. The whole act collapses. And this is where the whole thing shifted from a hearing into a roast. Because once Moskowitz dropped that one word, doodle, it wasn't just a piece of paper anymore. It wasn't an exhibit. It wasn't a document. It was a Sharpie scrawl, the kind Trump's been leaving behind for years. The hurricane map with the Sharpie circle, the hush money checks, the love notes to Kim Jong-un, and now a birthday doodle in Jeffrey Epstein's book. So Moskowitz leaned into it. He just started peeling back the layers with humor. It's like he was asking, does Trump doodle? Is he a doodler? Does he sit around sketching in the margins when he's bored? Sharpie cap between his teeth, leaving behind little squiggles like a middle schooler in detention? Because once you put that image in people's heads, the whole GOP defense collapsed under its own weight. And that's why it stuck, because it wasn't some dry legal back and forth. It was unforgettable. They wanted everyone to see forgery. What people saw was a doodle, a banana peel, and the entire GOP defense slipped fat on its ass. Patel tried to play it cool, offering his weak, sure, I'll do it, like a kid caught with a beer can in the garage. But everybody watching knew he'd just been cooked. It was checkmate in one move. And Moskowitz twisted the knife, daring them to settle it the obvious way. Bring in neutral handwriting experts, swear them under oath, put the doodle under a microscope. Is it his or isn't it? Easy, done, no theatrics, no conspiracy, no DeLorean time travel needed. That's when I had to laugh, because think about the excuse Patel and his pals were selling. Basically that some Nostradamus-type liberal in 2003 had the foresight to sneak into Epstein's little black book and plant a Trump doodle 20 years before he became president. A prophecy written in crayon. Come on, that's not a defense, that's fan fiction. But that's how desperate they are, because the truth is simple. They can't afford clarity. They need it blurry. They need it foggy. They need it sitting in the shadows so they can keep whispering, maybe it's fake, just long enough to keep their voters foaming and their donors writing the big checks. And that's where Jamie Raskin came in, sharp as ever, and he simply pointed out the absurdity. Trump is suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion over this, while at the same time claiming it doesn't even exist. $10 billion. That's not a legal strategy. That's a mafia-style intimidation scheme with a price tag. Raskin's point was simple but devastating. You can't scream forgery until you admit the thing exists. And if it exists, then it's time to test it. Pick a lane, because you can't have it both ways. Denying the doodle while suing someone over it. That's the contradiction they can't outrun. And that's why Moskowitz's joke landed so hard. He didn't just call it a doodle. He turned it into a symbol of the GOP's entire scam. A party so desperate to shield Trump that they'll trip over banana peels, bend over backwards, and rewrite history, all to keep people from seeing what's right in front of them. The forgery talk, smoke and mirrors. The doodle, that's the banana peel. And once it hit the floor, the whole defense went down with it. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.